All right. Hi. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bad Decisions with Eddie Law. This is your Monday night, late-ish night MMA show. My name is Eddie Law. I'm your host from CrossBonesMMA.com, and welcome to the show. Real quick, shout out to people that help our site, with sponsors of such. NatureBox.com. Go to CrossBonesMMA.com. Click on the banner. NatureBox snacks are delicious. I don't have to tell you that, especially if you tried it. It's delicious stuff. Also, F3Foods.com. If you have trouble losing weight, and you look, part of losing weight is eating right. Go to the Get Fit Right. I can't remember this stuff. Give me 1 second. I can actually find this real quick. Sorry. The GetFitRightProgram.com and use the code word CrossBones. That's CrossBones, all one word, at checkout for a discount. We also have Amazon.com. When you go to the website, CrossBonesMMA.com, there is a box on there where if you shop through that, we get a little kickback with no added cost to you. Do your normal Amazon.com shopping, but through our website, and it helps us out a whole lot to keep the website and the podcast going. And we really do appreciate you guys' support and help in that man. All right, fastest commercials ever. Let's get right to the show. Welcome to Bad Decisions with Eddie Law. This is your MMA Monday night talk show. Talk show when you start talking, right? Today's show, we're gonna talk about UFC on Fox 15. What happened in the main event, especially because that was a monster fight. Sarah Kaufman is back to calling people out, or trying to. Phil Davis signs with Bellator, making you wonder: is Bellator really a small league organization? It's not looking like it anymore. It's looking like they're starting to creep up a little bit here on the UFC, just a little bit at a time. Look, small steps get you to the goal sometimes. Also, the UFC makes changes to how they're going to distribute the Reebok sponsorship money, making another monster fucking everything. Nate Quarry is a good dude. I'll leave it at that because you're going to love this story. And, of course, a look ahead to the UFC 186 and the weekly rant, which you're going to love because I'm going to lose my shit for sure. All right, let's get going. All right, so your boy Eddie Law was actually part. If you're wondering why my face looks all weird, I know it's my normal face. I know I'm an ugly dude. I get all the jokes. Don't worry about it. I did the Super Spartan race in Las Vegas on last Saturday, and it was 9 plus miles, 25 obstacles. It was hot as shit. It was pretty tough, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it. It was great, but I got sunburnt to hell. If you can see, I wore an Under Armour sleeveless compression shirt, so my arms from like right here all the way down to like that right there, sunburnt to a crisp. So I've been using a wonderful aloe product to make myself feel better, and of course, pop in a little bit of Aleve here and there, some ibuprofen to help the swelling and the pain. But it hasn't been that bad anymore, so I actually, it feels pretty good. I think tomorrow should be a pretty pain-free day. But if you didn't do the race on Saturday, which if you did, let me know. Hit me up at CrossBonesMMA or at ELAW31. Also use those for any kind of interaction during the show. I love talking to people. You guys are freaking awesome. So if you didn't do the race, of course, you watched UFC on Fox 15. And who didn't? It was a very fun card, which I thought was a little underrated. I mean, some of the fights on there didn't seem like much. The main card was the killer. That was a great card. So let me pull these up for you real quick. Some of the surprises, it was a kind of a feel of a passing of the guard of sorts, right? I mean, Paige Van Zandt, that performance was killer. I thought for sure Felice Herrig would have the upper hand in that fight just due to experience. But of course, technology is going to fail me now, and it's not going to pop up. So if the screen share pops up, you guys get to see the card. Here it is. Here we go. Shout out to Google for not being complete dog shit. Let's see here. All right. Well, kicking off the night was Eddie Gordon losing to Chris Dempsey. I really did not think that was going to happen. I thought for sure Eddie Gordon would be able to control that fight. Still a pretty close fight. You see the takedowns are even, although there was a lot more shots by Dempsey. Gordon got to stuff a bit. It seems like the strikes were what got Dempsey the edge, but I don't think it should have been. I don't know. I thought Eddie Gordon should have won that fight, but it is what it is. And kind of feel bad for Eddie Gordon because he's a really good dude. And now it's his 2 losses in a row, I believe. So he needs to definitely step up his game for the next fight. Hopefully, it doesn't get cut. After that, Diego Brandao knocks out Jimmy Hetz. Big win for Diego coming off the McGregor loss. At the same time, McGregor, if you guys saw, tweeted out about his children. He was talking about Holloway and Diego Brandao doing well in the McGregor division. Holloway has something to say about that, and that was a fun part of it. So yeah, Brandao gets the win. After that, Tim Means submits George Sullivan in the third round. Tim Means is just on a roll. That dude's gonna find himself on a main card sometime soon. Then on the Fox prelims, Aljamain Sterling submits Takeya Mizugaki in the third round. Also definitely foreseeable. Here's a weird little knockout here with Guillaume Villante knocking Corey Anderson out. Anderson was out. He was gone. It was over, right? And then he kind of landed some shots at the back of the head. It was completely unnecessary in a fight that Corey Anderson was winning, and so, he wasn't able to get any takedowns, but he's definitely winning the strike battle. And, to get hit the way he did at the very end kind of sucks. But, Villante gets this is one of those fights where it's like anybody could win at any night. So big win for Villante, kind of a crappy loss for Corey Anderson, but he'll be back for sure. After that, I did not see this coming at all. Patrick Cummins gets knocked out in the first round by Vincent Prue. I'm not saying I'm not a believer in OSP, but nobody had him winning this fight. No way. I thought Patrick Cummins would be able to get it to the ground, and which he did once, but he was, I thought he'd be able to control the fight, keep OSP down, grind him out, land some elbows, land some ground and pound. And the OSP said, nah, man. And he landed, I think it was a nice little uppercut on Patrick Cummins and put him to sleep. Big win for OSP. That dude's stock just keeps rising and rising. After that, Jim Miller loses via decision to Beneil Dariush. Beneil just brought it all, man. And you gotta wonder if Jim Miller, even though he did have submission attempts, quite, I believe it says 3 on there. It makes me wonder if maybe he oh, that's right. Okay, so Aaron Robbins reminds me of what happened to Jimmy Hetz. He did land an elbow that cut up our boy Jimmy Hetz, and it got doctor stopped for some reason. We have seen this stuff happen before. It's happened quite a few times, actually. Maybe like 3 or 4, I think. There was people talking on Twitter about it, and so that was kind of an unfortunate event for Hetz, but it does count as a TKO, so that's what it is. All right, then yeah, like I said, Dariush defeats Jim Miller via decision, and that was your Fox prelims. All right, here's the first surprise. And to me, it was a surprise, of course, apparently not to anybody else. Paige VanZant dominates Felice Herrig. I thought for sure Herrig's experience, in fighting so far would easily get her the win over Paige. Paige showing that she is for real. I mean, look at those numbers right there. 199 total strikes landed on Felice, and Felice seems like she just had nothing for her. Felice explaining on Twitter later on that she had an adrenaline dump and just couldn't get anything anything going after the second round. So big win for Paige, and again, one of those passing the guard moments, I believe, on the card. After that, we had another one where Max Holloway submits Cub Swanson. Swanson ended up with a busted jaw, which now he's indefinitely just medically suspended. Busted jaw, I believe he said, also said broken hand. Max Holloway looking real good. And again, with Conor McGregor coming out and saying, tweeting out, oh yeah, my children did great or whatever. I think Holloway is definitely bound for a McGregor rematch sometime in the near future. At least that's the hope of one Max Holloway, and I think all of his fans. After that, in the co-main event, well, what happened was absolutely expected, where Chris Camozzi taps before the armbar even gets said, extended completely. He knew what was going to happen. Jacare is just too much of a beast. And after this fight, although a win over Chris Camozzi doesn't really get you a title fight because it's not that big of a win, it's still, Jacare has been in line forever, and you just kind of think he's due, right? Well, Rockhold has something to say about that. After Rockhold submits Lyoto Machida in the second round, look, man, if anybody else's stock, no one else's stock is higher right now as far as a contender goes, or a possible contender, as Luke Rockhold. I talked to so many people that thought Lyoto Machida was going to dominate. It finished one Luke Rockhold, and it did not happen, obviously. And I think the fun part for me was after that fight when DC was up in the booth for Fox doing the post-fight show. First of all, DC ended up hauling ass down to the cage to corner Luke Rockhold. He was in his tie and shirt and suit and all that. DC is a really good dude, really good cornerman teammate. So that showed a lot of caring for his teammate there for Luke Rockhold. And so now DC was talking some shit to Chris Weidman, who's also on the panel, and then Luke Rockhold joined him. A lot of fun banter. I'm sure you can find that on YouTube. Look it up. It's worth a watch. And you got to wonder, again, Paige beating Felice, Holloway beating Cub Swanson. Although a lot of people say Cub Swanson is overrated, I don't agree. But, it is what it is. And Luke Rockhold defeating Lyoto Machida, who a lot of people have been saying, oh, he's a former light heavyweight champ. He is. He's fought for the title. He lost. And, now he's lost another fight to where Luke Rockhold should be, I think, will be getting. I mean, that should be, but probably will be getting a title shot, if not a definite fight to a title shot type of deal. So that did it for UFC on Fox 5 or 15. Sorry, 15. And it takes us to Miss Sarah Kaufman. All right. Sarah Kaufman, part of the women's bantamweight division in the UFC, she has a tendency to talk a lot of crap, but is not really that good at it. And she claims she doesn't talk crap. And let me explain. She has been pushing Miesha Tate, for a Miesha Tate fight for a long, long time, even going out of her way to make an Instagram video of her fist squashing a cupcake because that's supposed to be fucking clever, right? I'm tired of Sarah Kaufman's, dumbass. Honestly, I can't stand her, but as far as the fighter goes, you can't really, hate on her too much. She wants a big fight. She wants to get that money fight, and it would make sense as far as rankings go. But instead, she gets Sarah Davis, and that should be a good fight on its own. And Miesha Tate gets Jessica Eye. So Sarah Kaufman makes a point to say that she did everything possible to make the fight happen. Miesha decided, to just kind of. She says she accuses Miesha Tate of ducking her, which is weird. She turned into a Vitor Belfort. Everybody ducking me, bro, type of shit. Which makes no sense to me. But Sarah Kaufman thinks she's gonna keep pushing for that fight with Miesha Tate, and for now she's got to wait. Got to take on Sarah Davis. To me, it seems like she's not even thinking about Sarah Davis, which is a huge mistake. Because Sarah Davis is not, or Alexis Davis. Wow, I'm so messed up right now. The sunburns are getting to my brain. And Alexis Davis is not a pushover, and especially not for Sarah Kaufman. Plus, if Sarah Kaufman got a title shot, does anyone on the planet really think she has a shot against Ronda Rousey? Kaufman herself goes out and says that Bethe Correia is going to lose to Ronda Rousey. I believe so as well. So do you give Sarah Kaufman a title shot anytime soon? First of all, no. Second of all, Ronda would destroy her in probably less time than than the Ketzingano fight. There's no way Sarah Kaufman even has a shot in hell against Ronda Rousey. Hell, I wouldn't even give her a shot against Bethe Correia. Really wouldn't. And even less against Ketzingano. It just doesn't make any sense. So Sarah Kaufman needs to just relax and win her fight against Alexis Davis and then move on to see if she deserves a Miesha Tate fight. But she makes a point to say that she doesn't talk a lot of trash, which I completely disagree. Her trash is just crappy trash talk, garbage trash talk, whatever. She claims that everyone wants to see a Conor McGregor, which absolutely we fucking do. Who doesn't want to see a Conor McGregor talk, type of fighter? There isn't one in the women's division. For whatever reason you might think. In fact, Ronda Rousey might be the only one, and she's just being honest about how she feels. Miesha Tate tried to kind of talk some shit, didn't work out so well. Sarah Kaufman's trying it, kind of not. She's not really good at it. I mean, did anyone else talk trash about Ronda Rousey? Not really. If you ever get a female Conor McGregor, goddamn, it's gonna be funny as hell. I mean, you can make a case that Bethe Correia is one, but she doesn't speak English, so she doesn't really connect to anybody except Brazilians. And all Brazilians, for some reason, think that Brazilians beat Americans any day. Well, Renan Barão doesn't have a belt. About the only Brazilians that have belts right now, Jose Aldo. For sure, I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, sorry, lightweight, Rafael dos Anjos. And I think that's it. So maybe start talking shit Brazilians and get your fighters to go to do some shit, right? All right, now we get on to Phil Davis. Phil Davis signing with Bellator. Surprising the hell out of everybody, really, because nobody has really taken Bellator very seriously as far as signing with them, unless you're a washed-up UFC veteran, such as Tito Ortiz, Ken Shamrock, Kimbo Slice, Stephan Bonner. Hold up a second. This motherfucker's talking shit. Oh, apparently Sarah Kaufman would have a good chance against my grandma. Yeah, she's dead. Of course she would. And Andrew Reed says, or Aaron Robbins. Yeah, dude, I would love to see Sarah Kaufman fight you, motherfucker. I want to see that shit. In fact, it'd be great if we can bring her on to Keyboard Warrior, see if she can bring some of the Canadian smack talk against you, but you probably just call her French and fuck that up. All right, so then back to what we were saying. God damn it. Verdun. The fuck? Verdum does not count, ass white. Verdum is a interim, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. All these fucking dick riders for the Brazilians, man. Robin's included. I'm kidding. He's not a dick rider, but believe me, he's gonna bring a lot of this shit up tomorrow night on Keyboard Warrior. So make sure you tune in for that shit. All right. Anyway, Phil Davis moving on to Bellator says he would have stayed with the UFC for a big contract. He didn't. Makes a good point. Look, in any job you have, you are definitely gonna take the next job if it's a pretty decent job. But if it pays a lot more or even more than where you're at right now, you're probably gonna move on. Phil Davis makes that point. Says that they fight for money. You know, he even has a quote in here. He actually talked on the MMA Hour for the one honorable, and I forgot what the hell Aaron Robbins calls him, the Helwani, of course. And you know, he says moving to Bellator is an opportunity, not an opportunity where you say I'm disappointing in anything. If I was working for FedEx and UPS offered me a better job, then you go to UPS. The only thing that brings up hurt feelings is I have a lot of friends and family that work for the UFC, the people of the organization that I won't be able to see on a regular basis. That's simply it. There's no hurt feelings any other way. That's just one of those things that happens in life, you know. So Phil Davis, you know, defeats Alexander Gustafsson, gets a bullshit decision against Leon Machida, and I think he also beat Glover Teixeira. So big wins for him. He's still one of the best light heavyweights in the world, just not for Bellator. Should he get a title shot right away against Mr. McGreary? Absolutely. And will he get it? Most likely. I don't think anyone else even deserves a shot. But you know, he even says he's not going to use the word deserve, but he thinks he'll get it, and he probably should. All right, running out of breath here. Moving on here, UFC changes the rules for distribution of Reebok money. Once again, this gaggle fuck of a sponsorship deal that is still screwing all the fighters out of sponsorship money. And you know, they changed the rules again because of all the bitching that was about the rankings, because the media are the ones that control the rankings. So therefore, you can manipulate who makes the money, leaving a lot up to, you know, assholes like Ariel Helwani and everybody else that votes on that. I don't even care. That guy's the only asshole I can think of right now that's in the media. That's a journalist. Okay. So now they're gonna do it by I believe it says tenure. God damn, I can't read. And the tiers for the competition is gonna be between 1 and 5 fights is a certain amount of money, 6 to 10 fights is a certain amount of money, 11 to 15 is a certain amount of money, 16 to 20 is a certain amount of money, and 21 and more is a certain amount of money. But UFC champions and title challengers are gonna be paid differently. Obviously, they're gonna get more money. So it's another gaggle fuck at the Reebok, you know, system, but. I mean, this is probably the fairest way to do it. The whole Reebok deal is garbage and not fair at all to the fighters who, are supposed to be the ones that actually benefit from it. A lot of fighters make that point where they've lost a lot of money. Brandon Schaub came out right away, said he's lost sponsors. Actually, another fighter said he lost 20 grand. Looks like James Cross said he lost 20 grand when the deal was announced, because no sponsor is going to want to, not have their logo in the octagon if they're going to sponsor a fighter. In fact, before that, you had to pay a sponsorship tax to the UFC just to have a fighter in there with a logo that the people will see worldwide. So people that keep trying to defend the UFC saying, oh, it's just a business, corporations are people and shit like that, it's horse shit. The fighters are still getting screwed. It is what it is at this point. Do we have another tweet from our friend here? Oh, yeah, we do. Verdum is Brazilian and a champion. I don't count it. I don't give a fuck. Phil moving to Bellator comes with a nickname to Mr. Mediocre. From Mr. Wonderful to Mr. Mediocre, it might be possible. Way to botch the word seniority. No, tenure, motherfucker. It ain't seniority. And Andrew Reed makes a point about the move to Bellator as honestly cannot see the sense in it. Very odd. And I'd agree with that. It is kind of odd. But at the same time, Phil Davis makes that point where it's about the money. He fights for money. He's trying to pay his bills. Oh, he's pay his bills, but whatever. And because that guy made enough money in the UFC. I'm sure he's gonna make probably a lot more in Bellator. I mean, he immediately becomes a premier name for Bellator. Take that as you will. Okay. All right. So back to the UFC Reebok deal. Again, just a couple little highlights on it. The Reebok deal means they have to wear Reebok sponsored gear, including one. Through a fight week, including weigh-ins and all appearances and shit like that. In the cage, they have to wear Reebok sponsored gear. I think they're allowed to pick colors and stuff like that. And that gear will also have one other logo on it at the UFC's discretion. They're going to choose what it is. And again, I mean, every sponsor you talk to, I mean, Unique Kennels is one that is a big supporter of fighters. I mean, they support everybody that they can. and they're gonna get screwed out of sponsoring, helping out fighters because their logo won't be in the cage anymore. And fighters can still wear those sponsors, those logos outside of the cage in everyday life, but not a lot of people are gonna pay for that. So it really sucks, but helps out Bellator. Once again, Phil Davis comes back into the picture. He's gonna get a lot of sponsorship money off of it, or at least he's gonna keep getting the same at very least. And a lot of other sponsors will move over to Bellator, which is on free TV. Which, if they somehow improve their product, which would be awesome, we'll get a lot of ISO sponsors and help them out. Okay, here we go again with this shit. I'm messing with you, dude. Look, man, I'm trying to focus. What the fuck are you messing with me for? Mess with me tomorrow on Keyboard Warriors. Okay, that's when we can go back and forth. Oh, he's falling off the counter. Fuck that shit. Anyway, this asshole. Aaron Robbins, ladies and gentlemen, follow him at Stand and Bang on Twitter. Yeah, that motherfucker's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna hear about this shit tomorrow for sure. Probably before the show and during the show. Fuck it. All right, moving on here to one of the few good stories in MMA. Nate Quarry, as you remember, is a UFC veteran. He did a really, really good thing for a special needs fighter. Jake the Snake Beckham has been, he's been training MMA for a while. I believe he has Down syndrome, and he keeps asking his coach, who can I fight somebody? Can I fight somebody? And of course, his coach Greg Walker, kept pushing it off, kind of, telling him, just keep training. Finally got a fight against former UFC middleweight Nate Quarry, and it's really good to see MMA fighters being good people. Most of them are good people. There's a few that are dickwads, but you know who they are. But it's nice to see, especially a veteran like Nate Quarry, come out of retirement to fight somebody, and just a good show of just humanity. It's really, really good to see good people. The MMA fighters be shown as good people instead of being shown as barbaric, just kind of apes in the caves that just beat each other up till they bleed, bloody. Nate Quarry comes out, fights Jake and gets submitted in the second round via, I believe it was a heel hook. Apparently Beckham is a Huzumar Parharas fan, except for the whole, holding on to that shit thing. So they raised $1,000 for Create the Connection, which is an organization to create meaningful employment opportunities for people in need, which is an awesome deal there, an awesome cause. All right. Moving on here, let's talk about UFC 186 going down this weekend. It's actually a card a lot of people are shitting on, and probably for good reason. It is missing, I believe, this was supposed to have TJ Dillashaw on it, including Renan Barão. And it was supposed to have, the big fight between Rampage Jackson and Fabio Maldonado. So that's let's go over this card real quick, at least what's left of it. Headline by Demetrius Johnson against Origuchi here. Kyoji Origuchi. Let's kick off the Fight Pass prelims. Ronda Marcos, who is finally back in action, taking on Aslan Daly, which Aaron Robbins repeatedly points out is impossibly is basically not good at making weight. She's not gonna make weight, most likely. I mean, 115 pounds. I think she's a little too big for that. I'm not making fat jokes, people. I'm just saying. Aaron Robbins said it. Anyway, after that, Jessica Rakosi takes on Valerie Letourneau, and then finishing off the early prelims, Chris Clements takes on Nordine Taleb. Nothing too special there except for the Ronda Marcos deal. I think that's great to see her back in action finally. Then on the Fox Sports One prelim, David McCod, Bulldog, taking on Oliver Aubin Mercier. Then Chad LaPriest takes on Brian Barberina, who I saw in Phoenix last December. Then, of course, the aforementioned Sarah Kaufman taking on Alexis Davis in the prelims as well. So maybe she needs to stop talking shit about getting the Miesha Tate fight. I think Kaufman just wants to finally be on the main card. Then Patrick Cote taking on Joe Riggs. Patrick Cote is going to destroy Joe Riggs. Let's be honest, Joe Riggs is done. He shouldn't be fighting anymore, but for some reason thinks he can still do it. In the main card, kicked off. Of course, you got to pay for this shit. Yves Jabon, the Tiger, taking on Thomas Almeida. Then John Makdessi, who I always make fun of his eyes. I'm sure there's something wrong with him where I'm being super insensitive. But taking on a guy from Mortal Kombat was just I think Smoke. He's taking on Smoke. Shane Campbell, ladies and gentlemen. After that, Fabio Maldonado takes on Steve Boss. Of course, replacing one Rampage Jackson who can't fight due to the Bellator ruling by the courts. And in the co-main event, you get Michael Bisping against CB Dollaway in a fight where you can only hope they both get knocked out. Although I am a Michael Bisping fan, so I hope he wins. But I'm sick of Dollaway's shit. That dude is just boring as dog shit. In the main event, Demetrius Johnson, who could possibly be the best fighter in the world, according to Joe Rogan, taking on Kyuji Horiguchi. And it's funny as hell. Aaron Robbins just texted me over at Send and Bang, making the point that according to Joe Rogan, DJ is the best fighter in the world because Joe Rogan said so. And on the side point here, just to make note, Joe Rogan's job is to hype up fights, and he seems to be pretty good about, pretty good because he'll hype up anybody. Any fight could be huge. He had to John Moraga, who I like, but was not ready for Demetrius Johnson when he fought him. And Aaron Robbins saying, hey, maybe Nate Corey will let Joe Riggs win a fight with him. I doubt it. I think Joe Riggs would find a way to lose that anyway. In fact, Nate Corey will probably fall, just put his leg out or his arm out for an arm bar, and Joe Riggs will somehow fuck it up. Most likely anyway. All right. So anyway, like I was saying, DJ against Kyoji Horiguchi, definitely a card you want to go to a bar for. Don't pay for this shit. Don't drop the $50-$60 on this shit at all. Okay, there's not one fight on there that's really worth dropping all that money for at all, man. This should be a UFC fight pass or even a Fox Sports 1 card. It's not going to be, but in fact, the UFC was offering refunds on tickets to people that bought tickets to actually go to the event. And I haven't heard of the numbers of people that actually took advantage of it, but I'm sure all those asshole companies that buy all those tickets and then double the price to overcharge you for shitty goddamn seats are probably pretty pissed off about the fact they're about to lose a shitload of money on it. So I'm sure they're returning as many tickets as they can. But fuck you guys. This is what it is. All right, moving on to the rant here, and this should be a good one. If you haven't heard, now read this, what the headline is, off of the New York Daily News. I believe this was an exclusive story they wrote. The headline says, Jewish group slams mixed martial arts, linking sport to Abu Dhabi government and anti-Israel attacks. A group full of prominent New York Jewish lawyers, or leaders and lawyers and all that shit, are saying that legalizing the controversial sport could benefit a major anti-Israel force. According to the article here, and I'll just read it straight out, quote, the group has penned a letter to friends of the Jewish community that will go to state lawmakers and run in Jewish publications, highlighting the fact that the Abu Dhabi government owns a 10% stake in the sport's biggest league, the UFC. Abu Dhabi is part of the United Arab Emirates, which the Anti-Defamation League ranked as one of the most anti-Semitic countries in the world, according to the letter. The letter also says, quote, this is a country that refuses to recognize Israel as a nation, refuses to allow Israel citizens to travel in their country, and has banned the teaching of the Holocaust in their schools, end quote. All right. If this doesn't seem like some bullshit move by the Culinary Union as a last gasp effort to stop MMA from being, legalized in New York, I don't know what it is. This isn't legit at all. I mean, Ariel Helwani himself has actually come out and said that he's offended. All other Jewish, supporters of MMA in New York have said themselves they are offended by the fact that their religion is being used as as part of politics, as a dirty move to stop MMA in New York. It's incredibly ridiculous. The letter continues to say, at a time when anti-Semitism is on the rise, we cannot stand by while Albany cuts a deal with a company whose profits will go directly into the hands of an enemy of Israel. It is our hope that New York will continue its proud tradition as a staunch friend to the Jewish community by rejecting the legalization of mixed martial arts and saying no to a company and country that is clearly no friend of Israel, end quote. Bull fucking shit. All right. The only reason you wrote this goddamn letter is because someone's paying you on the table to do it. It's how politics works. Someone has to get paid in order to talk shit. A lot of people signing on to this. All these names, by the way, need to be publicized. And I think most of them are. But all these names need to be put up on a big fucking list, posted everywhere, as don't deal with these assholes. A lot of rabbis on it, which if you're a religious person, which I'm not, okay, which is disclaimer right there, not a religious person. If you are a religious person, that should piss you the fuck off that your rabbi has nothing else more important to do than to, bring a bullshit point to it. Look, I'll make one point that actually Kasal Pendred himself tweeted out and said, and you can go to Kasal Pendred's Twitter and read it yourself, but also, he points out that the group has no problem with the Abu Dhabi United Group owned New York City FC, which is a Major League Soccer team. So how come they're not getting picketed or blocked or anything, So ultimately, politics, once again, is getting in the way of MMA in New York. Personally, and I've said this before, I don't give two shits about New York and MMA being in there. It would be huge for it to be there, but I couldn't give two shits. Why? Because New York gets everything anyway. Fuck them. Okay? But on principle, this is bullshit. Cut the shit, get politics out of sports. That's wishing a lot, and it's complete horse shit as far as it ever happening. But it's just what's gonna happen. Some more tweets here I'm gonna read to you guys. Yeah, Andrew Reed and Aaron Robbins going off here. Okay. They're just talking about me. Abu Dhabi is where Garfield always sent normal. Andrew Reed thinks it was Scooby. He always thought it was Scooby's friend. And now they're going back about debating whether Shaggy and Scooby were friends or not. I'm a little confused. I'll deal with you guys after the show. So anyway, this is just a bullshit politic move, you know. And look, I hope all those people that signed the letter, all those rabbis, lose a lot of credibility in the Jewish community, as they fucking should. But they, you know, I don't know. It's meant to be. We have to wait and see what happens here with that. Nobody should listen to Cathal. He's just awful. God damn, Aaron's coming with some heat today. All right. Well, that's gonna end the goddamn show. Thanks a lot, Aaron. You fucking douche. I'm kidding. That is gonna do it for bad decisions, though. I need to go get some aloe on my burns. It fucking hurts a little bit. Thanks for joining me for tonight's episode. Remember, the bad decisions is on Monday nights. Make sure to follow me on EL31. Follow Nick Pilecki at NickXMicro. Jesse Rubalcabas at SpeedW181983. So I don't know what the fuck that means. Don is at CBMMA_Don. Aaron Robbins is at Stand and Bang. In fact, let me get it directly for you, just in case I didn't add something. His Twitter name always fucks me up because it doesn't, you know, it says MMA or not. Yeah, at Stand, the letter N, Bang Radio. Coming up, brand new show just came out. One with Angie Hill, which is actually pretty fucking funny. I only heard part of it, but finishing it off tomorrow. And John at MMA John G, who will be back hopefully soon. So yeah, he'll be back. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Make sure you go to CrossBonesMMA.com, go to Facebook.com/CrossBonesMMA. Like the page. The more likes we get, it's, you know, it just helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. Make sure to go to iTunes, look up CrossBonesMMA, and subscribe to get all our shit automatic and free. A lot of new shows coming up. Of course, we also have 5 rounds. We also have 5 rounds with John Eddie. We have Bad Decisions. We have Keyboard Warriors, which goes live tomorrow night with myself and the aforementioned Aaron Robbins, and also Fred Kirby. And Andrew Reed is a big fan of the show, so that's great. And he always says a lot of shit that makes us laugh. In fact, it gets a lot more fun. It gets way funnier than this for sure tomorrow night on Keyboard Warriors. So tune in for that. And also Nick Pilecki's new show called That Just Happened, which goes, I think he's going to go live this week on Thursday. We talk it's a show where we look back at UFC events and just talk about it. It's a little fun thing that we like to do. And a lot of more new shows are coming up. Not sure how soon, but those Twitters will be put out. Those announcements will be put out on Twitter as soon as we know. Come back next week for another episode of Bad Decisions with Eddie Law. Come back tomorrow night for Keyboard Warriors. For everybody at CrossBones MMA, I'm Eddie Law saying see you next week. We're one day closer to death. Make it count, and keep the funny going, Andrew and Aaron. See you guys.